What up, everybody? It's your boy Kentario, and I'm back again for another episode of Christ and Comic Books. And if you're new to this channel, our focus is to look at anime, manga, and comic books, as well as other forms of media to see if the gospel of Jesus Christ can be shared through this type of content. So if you're watching this video and you find that you like it, please make sure that you hit that like button as well as hit the subscribe button. That way, this type of content is getting boosted within the YouTube algorithm. Also, I love to get your feedback, so please make sure that you leave a comment in the comment section because I'd love to hear from you. Thank you guys for joining me. Let's get into it. What's up, guys? I'm so excited to do this video. Oh my goodness. But let me show you guys something real quick. Check it out. Look at these. My buddy got these for me. It's funny because he thought these were special edition and I should save them and never drink them. They're going to be worth thousands of dollars. I'm like, bro, they sell these regularly on Amazon. They're not that special. He was a little heartbroken, but he begged me not to drink them. So these are new additions to, I guess you could say, the collection on my shelf. The toys, all of that. This is added to my new collection. Ironically, both of them are voiced by Christopher Sabat. So this is amazing. But what we're here to talk about is the one movie that I have went to the theaters to see twice. I don't do that. I don't go to the movie theaters twice. But for this movie, I did. And that is Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse.
Yeah, baby! That's what I've been waiting for.
The movie that I would arguably say is the best movie of 2023. I do not believe that any movie that I watch from this going on for the rest of the year will surpass it. I was even shocked at how good The Little Mermaid was. But then this movie, amazing. Untouchable, in my opinion. Now, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse opens up with us seeing Gwen Stacy, living her life in her universe, introducing us into how the results of Into the Spider-Verse are still going on. And now, instead of Gwen wanting to stay in her universe, she is looking to assist them in correcting for the issues that have occurred since Into the Spider-Verse by fixing these anomalies. Yes, a lot takes place, leading to Gwen actually going to join the team, but I don't want to give too many spoilers yet. Now, this also gets into Miles Morales, who has been feeling this way. He does not want to continue in his current universe. He doesn't want to continue living in Brooklyn, which is just a sub-message in and of itself. But what he wants to do is be in Peter B. Parker's life. He wants to be able to meet up with Gwen, have that relationship with Gwen. As we already knew, he loves Gwen, but he wants to be able to interact with the other Spider people because they best understand him as a Spider-Man. And so he's been looking for that opportunity, and that opportunity has shown itself. However, in this being introduced to him, what it means to be a part of the Spider Society, fighting to fix what is taking place in the Spider-Verse, is going to cost him more than what he's willing to pay. And he's being opposed by Miguel O'Hara, aka Spider-Man 2099, amongst several other Spider-Men and women, to stop him from doing what it is that he is seeking to do for himself, rather than submitting to what they believe to be the only way to keep things in order as the Spider-Verse is falling apart. But before I continue down this rabbit hole of excitement and joy and connections and all of that, I do need to be fair and give my negative perspective on this movie, and trust and believe that that's not much. So the most negative things or negative reviews that I have towards Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse pertain to actually a lot of what I've been seeing pop up and come across TikTok. First and foremost being the topic of Spider-Gwen actually being trans. And me personally, I totally disagree with that. Now, I do want to definitely go down, I guess you could say, a more positive perspective when I get into the Christian perspective on this movie. However, I do want to point out that I think that that is an extreme reach. I'm going to clarify a bit more later, mainly because I am on the side of a lot of other content creators who believe that there is this incentive to move towards influencing and converting children in regards to the topic of being trans and the topic of being a part of that particular community
I want to talk to the kid.
No, God! LGTV, as Ruslan KD would say, credit to that guy. But there seems to be a heavy movement in that direction. Now, a lot of people are making this assumption about Spider-Gwen based off of her simply having a poster in her room that says, protect trans kids. Now, I do not associate that based off of that poster, but a lot of people in the audience, well, a certain sect of people, are making this claim. And I think that is an extreme reach. The reason that I say that is because we have to keep in mind that though she's not necessarily 14 or 15, she is from this generation around 17 or 18 years old. And there are a lot of them, whether wisely or ignorantly, that partner in this perspective of, if there are trans kids, people should not be oppressing them, looking to take their lives, this, that, and the third. On the aspect of no one should be taking their lives, attacking them, and beating them for what they are feeling and what they are going through, that I side with. But I do not side with the perspective of, if they want to transition, allow them to transition. And I'm making that claim right here, right now, regardless of how much I love Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, that I do not stand with that. And so, with Spider-Gwen being one to make that proclamation, sure, I cannot stand it. But I will express that what I also understand is she is a young high school girl, and some of them do fall into that category of believing that way without actually having to be trans. So that's also another thing with that too. She's a teenage girl. A lot of them do believe in protecting trans kids. So it wouldn't be far-fetched for her to be just a normal straight girl who believes that. But to go as far as to say, well, she's also... No, slow your roll. Slow your roll. Slow your roll. Not only that, they use the color scheme that's used in her universe in the background to say that looks like the trans flag colors. So since those are the trans flag colors, maybe she's trans. Maybe she just backs it. Even more so, a lot of those colors are colors that associate with girls also on a regular basis. Even more so, a lot of them reflect her very own costume, which has been her costume since she's been introduced into Marvel Comics. So it is not a reach for them to use those similar color schemes as a representation of her verse, rather than it being the case of that's why they are doing it. Now, another thing that contributes to this conversation as well is that there was another TikToker, and I will go ahead and say it this way. More clarification has come out on this, but my reaction to what this creator has said was pushed off of this point, and I'll make this clear in just a moment. She makes this video speaking about Miguel Ojeda, who we'll expound on as well later. Miguel Ojeda being Spider-Man 2099, also being a Puerto Rican or Dominican fellow. I definitely could be butchering that, but he's of Hispanic descent. And so with him being full-blood Hispanic, then we have Miles Morales, who is mixed with black and Dominican. And so with him being mixed, but Miguel being a pureblood, there is experiences for those that are mixed versus those that are pure, where there's a lot of oppression coming from the pure-blooded against them, saying that you're not welcome, saying that you're not one of us, and things of that nature. And that has happened, and based off of the conversation that Miles had with his mother, as well as the conversation that Miles had with Miguel, where Miguel is rejecting him, calling him an anomaly, they use that to support Miles being treated in this racial fashion rather than the way that the story itself tells it is the reason. The issue that I had with that take, it wasn't that she couldn't have the take. The issue was that she made the claim as if that was true. She articulates the claim as if that is the actual fact of the events in the movie, when that is not the case. Whether that's allegorical, sure. Whether that is how those that have experienced that type of oppression and press from another, sure. That's how you can interpret that and receive that. But to make the claim as if it is solid and that is actually the case, that's what I push against. Now, the only reason I am, in fact, retracting my video where I did a response to her on her claim is simply because more feedback has come out that she was being more allegorical, not that she was making this as a solid, it is what it is, no one can tell me otherwise, that's what the creators intended, blah, 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 blah. That's not the case. It was actually just interpretive. That was coming from an interpretive standpoint. So I do retract my pushback against her, but I do stand on that yet still, that just because you see a racial event, or just because you see these colors, or just because you see this flag, it doesn't mean that that's what it is. You can receive that for yourself as the viewer and just enjoy the movie from that standpoint. Why do I see that these two things are so very crucial? It is because I myself have done the same things. So with this channel, when we're looking at anime, when we're looking at manga, when we're looking at comic books, it is definitely not a guarantee that the creators are actually thinking of Christianity or considering Christianity when they put in certain type of scenes, imagery, and messages within their content. At the same time, we are welcomed to interpret or translate those things, let's say in this case, to Christ and to our faith, and continue to enjoy these movies and continue to enjoy these shows and move forward. We're not demanding that people see it our way. Well, at least for me, we're at least just communicating these things. That way people can see our perspective and how we get to enjoy it. And if that's the case, there's no fight with me there. But when you drop the gavel, drop the staff, and make it law, that's where there's a concern there, especially when that's not the case. And I know you guys are like, wait, Miguel O'Hara, wait, Miles Morales, what is he talking about with the mom? Tune in. We will get more into those things, especially as we get into what I like about this movie and as we get into the Christian perspective.